Okay guys, for today's tutorial, I'm just going to be doing a drugstore makeup look. Now, all the stuff that I have here, you can get it at the drugstore. I feel like the only thing that's a little hard to find at the drugstore is this Cookie Professional Powder Contour Palette. Like this. But I got mine at Walmart. So just keep an eye out at your Walmarts for this palette. Okay, so let's get straight into the video. For eyebrows, I always use the e.l.f. brow pencil in the shade Taupe. So I'm just filling my eyebrow. I know they look a little messy, but we're going to clean them up right now with concealer. And for concealer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm just going to be taking that on my BH Cosmetics brush and just carving out my brows. And then just to give them a little more color and more definition, I'm just going to be taking the contour palette and this darker contour shade, and I'm just going to be using that in my eyebrows a little bit. I'm so sorry if I'm out of the frame. I'm trying to look in my mirror. Okay, and then after my eyebrows, I always like to start with my eyeshadow. So I'm just going to be taking the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer in the color Sheer, and I'm just going to be applying that on my eyelids. I'm just going to be blending that out. With a Morphe E8. Now for eyeshadow, I have 3 palettes that I might be dipping into. The first one is the City Mini palette from Maybelline, the one with Shayla. Looks like this. And the other one is the e.l.f. Matte for Mattes palette. The second one, Summer Breeze, looks like this. I'm just going to set the eyeshadow. And the third one is another e.l.f. palette in Kneaded Nude. And it just looks like this. And then from the other e.l.f. palette, the Matte for Mattes one, I'm going to be taking this pinky shade. For my first color, I'm just going to be taking the e.l.f. Kneaded Nude palette, and I'm just going to be putting that pinky color right on my Morphe E, and I'm just going to be putting that in the crease again. Okay, then after that, I'm just going to be taking I have no idea color, what look I'm going to do. So I'm just going to start off with this little pinky color, a Morphe M441, and I'm just going to be putting that a little lower under the crease a little bit. Going back in with the E23 in that pinky color from the same palette, I'm just going to be blending all the edges. And I'm just going to be putting it where I put the darker pink. Then with the smaller brush, the Morphe M33, I'm just going to be taking that same color from the Shayla palette and putting it. Then going in with the Maybelline palette, this one, I'm going to be taking this shade right here on a back in with this pink shade right here on my Morphe M441, the same brush, and I'm just going to just blending all the edges. I'm gonna use this color from the Shayla palette, and maybe this color. I'm gonna take a flat shader brush, and I'm just gonna spray a little bit of the Wet n Wild spray, and I'm just going to be taking this color on the inner part of my eye. I'm thinking I want to use this purple right here. So I'm just going to take that on my MAC 217 brush. And I'm just going to put in that on the outer corner of my eye. The inner part of my eye. And where I put that color from the Shade palette. Just like that. And I think I'm going to take a little bit of this color because on the shade one's a little too glittery. I think it needs like a nice little shimmer base. So I'm just going to take that and put it over the glitter shade. And then go back in with the same glitter shade and pack that on top. Okay, I'm just going to do the same for the other eye. Then going back in with the shimmer brush, just trying to blend all that together. This color and put it on the inner part of my eye, just to give the other gold a nice base to stick to, because it is a little more glittery than shimmery. And for my foundation, I'm going to be taking the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in the shade. I'm just going to be taking this black shade, and I'm just going to be with a BH Cosmetics pencil brush. I'm just going to take that, and I'm just going to be putting that. Okay, so look like that. For the face, I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. face primer. It's a little mist. I just put it in the Mario Badescu bottle because the spritzer was not like, it was, the spritzer was too the spritzer was too harsh, so I just put it in this bottle. I should spray that as my primer. Okay. The Morphe E8 and just blend the concealer out. Then I'm just going to take my Road Techniques buffing brush and just buff all this out. For concealer, I'm just going to be taking that same Wet n Wild concealer. And I'm just going to be concealing my dark circles. Finish up under my eyes, my nose, my pimple. This purple shade right here on an e.l.f. eye crease brush, and I'm just going to be taking that underneath the lower lash line. To set my under eyes, I'm just going to be taking the Kokie Professional Powder Contour Palette. And I'm just going to be taking a Morphe M138
two lighter
brush
shades,
and going with this brown shade again.
I'm going to put that on an e.l.f.
and just blend
blush
out
brush and just be
purple
sitting
shade
underneath my eyes.
To set my entire face, I'm going to be taking the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder in the shade Warm Light. And I'm just going to be taking that on a big Wet n Wild contour palette
Brush.
And I'm going to set my entire darker side right here to bronze up my face a little bit. I'm just going to be taking this e.l.f. palette, the Not For Matte one, and I'm with this palette and taking another pencil brush and then I'm just gonna take that white side, this pink shade, and just blending all that chisel together underneath my contour even more. Okay, then I'm just gonna go back in with the same brush I used and just blend everything together. I'm going to be taking this cool tone shade from the Kokie palette on an angled brush. I'm just going to use that to chisel all my cheeks, on my inner corners. For highlighter, I'm going to be taking the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. Just like this. Ooh, that's pretty. And I'm going to be taking that on an e.l.f. brush, just like this. And for mascara, I'm going to take the Revlon Ultimate Volume Mascara in the shade Black. And I'm just going to apply that to my lashes. My eyelashes, I'm taking the Ardell Demi Wispies in the shade 120. And for blush, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. blush palette in the shade Light on a Wet n Wild blush brush like this. And I'm going to be taking all three of these shades right here. I'm going to take every shade but the pink glittery one. And after you apply your lashes, then I'm just gonna set my face with the Wet n Wild setting spray. Just like that.